escorting his mother and sister home from Europe, and secretly bringing his mistress, Berthe Manet, to marry. Mrs. Helene Baxter, wealthy widow from Montreal. Zette Baxter Douglas, Quig's sister. Mr. and Mrs. Charles Melville Hayes, president of Canadian National Railway, and his wife. Orion and Thornton Davidson, daughter of Mr. Hayes and husband. Francis Brown, amateur photographer who traveled on the Titanic from Southampton to Queenstown. Major Arthur Puchin, president of Standard Chemical Company and commissioned officer in Queen's Own Rifles, from Toronto. Dr. Alice Leader, female physician who runs a practice in New York. Mrs. Margaret Swift, friend of Dr. Leader, possesses a law degree. Marie Young, companion to Mrs. White, former music teacher to Roosevelt children. Ella White, wealthy widow traveling with Miss Young. Mr. and Mrs. Hudson Allison and family. Young, self-made millionaire, wife Bessie, 2-year-old daughter Lorraine, and 11-month-old son Trevor. Alice Cheever, Trevor's new nanny. Henry B. and Renee Harry Harris, theater managers and producers from New York. Hugh Woolner, English businessman, admirer of Mrs. Candy. Harry Widener, bibliophile and businessman, son of George and Eleanor Widener. Dr. Washington Dodge, physician and banker from San Francisco. Harry Markland Molson, richest Canadian on board the Titanic. Survived 2 previous shipwrecks. Dorothy Gibson, model and film star. Michael and Edmund Navratil, 2 young boys traveling with their father under the assumed name Hoffman. Nishon Krakorian, Armenian immigrating to Canada, traveling in 3rd class. Prologue. February 12th, 1912. Cairo, Egypt. Alice Fortune was captivated. From the verdant green branches of the dwarf palm trees in their stone pots flanking the broad stairs to the vibrant blue, green, and orange tiles covering the terrace floor, and the jasmine and fig-scented breeze playing with the strands of hair that had escaped their pins to tickle the base of her neck, it was all she could do to drink it all in. This feeling was new for her, this desire to see and do and experience everything around her. She had never been farther from home than Toronto, and she was almost insatiable with the appetite to explore. However, her mother had wanted to rest during the heat of the day, and the remainder of her family had agreed to join her. But Alice was too excited to lie down, not when there was still so much to discover. While she couldn't leave the hotel, when a friend of the family and fellow traveler had fortuitously appeared in the temple-like main hall just as they were returning from their morning excursion, she'd seized the opportunity he'd presented to escape the purgatory of staring out the window while her sisters napped. Which was how she found herself taking tea on the veranda of Shepherd's Hotel in the heart of Cairo, with the handsome, fair-haired William Sloper of Connecticut. He smiled at her indulgently as she lifted her glass of cool hibiscus tea and turned to look at him for perhaps the first time since they'd sat down at one of the rattan tables. Another man might have been offended by her inattention, but not William. He was an incorrigible flirt, but a harmless one, and good-natured enough not to take himself too seriously. She laughed, a bright note against the chorus of low, cultured voices and the rattle and hum of the carts and motor cars passing along the street. "I can't imagine you would ever be able to enjoy a cup of tea on the terrace at your home in Winnipeg at this time of year," he remarked. "Good heavens, no," she agreed. "Not unless we wanted it to freeze solid in a matter of minutes, although Winnipeg in winter does have its compensations," she felt compelled to add, out of some sense of loyalty, even if she was hard-pressed to remember what those were at the moment. Sloper hummed and nodded. "No need for an icebox, I suppose?" She smiled.